guys, Nimish here. Today's topic that will be discussed is transistor logic, or it is also known as TTL in short. Now, what is a transistor logic? It is named for the dependence on the transistor alone to perform the basic logic operation. Now, we already discussed what is RTL, what is DTL. Now, what were RTL and DTL? They are the logical families and they are representing the logics. Means, for example, with the help of the RTL, DTL or TTL, we are representing our gates logic. Here also we will be doing the same thing. Here we will take the TTL as an inverter. And what is inverter? Inverter is nothing but a NOT gate. Okay. And second case we will be taking one universal gate, that is nothing but TTL as a NAND gate. So as we are taking a universal, we can then represent other gates also. So let's begin with it. Now, when we are taking a TTL as an inverter, we are taking only one transistor. Okay. So when we are taking this transistor, this is nothing but its base, this is its emitter, and this is its collector. Now, few things before we start the TTL inverter, we should know regarding the transistor. That is, now when we give some input or the required input to the base, this transistor conducts, okay, and transistor conducts, then this entire path will become as a short circuit. Okay, so your current will flow from this end to this end to the ground. Okay, that is when you are giving some input that is equivalent or that is not equivalent to 0. Okay, now when you are giving a low input, now as we are talking digital, it would be only two possibility. Either the logic is high, okay, and that is 5 volt, or either the logic is low, that is nothing but the 0 volt. So when the Vin is high, that is 5 volt, at that time your transistor will conduct and your current will go from this end to this end, or it will flow from this end to this end. But when your input is actually low, at that time what is happening? You are providing 0, and when you are providing 0, what would be happening? This transistor will act as an open switch. So when it is acting as open switch, this current is not able to flow. Hence, the potential difference you are getting here, that would be same potential difference would be getting at the V out also. That is same shown in the transfer characteristics also. In transfer characteristics, you can literally say that is a V in versus V out graph. Okay, so it says that when V in is low, that is 0, at that time we are getting the V out as 5 volt. Okay, and when your logic is or input is high, at that time your transistor is working as a closed switch, and hence you are getting the V out as almost 0. Okay, this will go with the detailed description of this circuit. Okay, now we have got the circuit. Now this our circuit is what we have got. Okay, so let's go one by one. The VCC is given 5 volt. Okay, then RC, that is your collector resistor, that is your, and the current flowing is IC out here. Okay, and the IC is nothing but VCC by RC. Okay, so here you can say that the voltage available is nothing but what is the voltage available here? Okay, so that would be nothing but your this potential difference. Okay, this would be the same potential difference available here. So now this is the RB, that is your input to the base, and this is actually taken ground. So when you are giving input as 5 volt, that is logic high, at that present it will be, this transistor will work as a closed switch. Okay, so your current is flowing, so you are not getting any potential difference out here, that's why you are getting 0. Okay, this was when the logic is high given or input is high given to it. Similarly, when the input is low, or we know that it is grounded, okay, 0 volt is nothing but you can also replicate it as ground. So when you are getting it at ground, this works as an open switch. Okay, so when it is working an open switch, the potential difference out here, you get the same potential difference here also. So if you take multimeter and measure from this plus sign here and negative, you will obviously keep it here. Okay, same this, now you just keep this reference at that point only, and you take this point from this end to this end. What will be the potential difference? Same, VCC or 5 volt. Okay, so this is your inverter. Now what is happening, you have literally seen that when you are giving input, okay, this is input, when you are getting high or 5 volt, the output you are getting is low. Okay, And when input is low, that is the case we were discussing here, your output is high. So you can literally see that we are getting an inverter. It is inverting the input. Okay. So now we will go with TTL as a NAND gate. Okay. Now this is the general complex structure of TTL. But it is not that complex. Here you have got the transistor. Now this transistor particularly is very important. Okay. In this transistor, you have got two emitter. Okay. So basically we have got the two emitter out here. We have got this supply. Then it is given to this two emitter are taken out as a terminal A and B. That would be our input at present. Okay. Now after that, this collector is connected to the base of the Q2. Okay. And then the emitter of the Q2 is connected to piece of the Q4. So you can see that this transistor, and this transistor are actually interconnected to each other, whereas the Q3 transistor is not interconnected to any other, so it is independent. Okay, so this is the basic structure of the TTL NAND gate in your transistor logic. Now we will see the equivalent diagrams and we will also derive the truth table of the same. Now what we are doing, we are just replicating. See, ultimately transistor is nothing but the main. For example, this transistor we are taking that emitter, it is going out. Okay, so at that time the transistor would be obviously NPN. So what we are doing, we are just replicating it. These two emitter are there. Okay, so that two emitter would be nothing but, for example, it is N P N. Okay, so here we have got two emitters, so this P N and this is P and N. Okay, that same P common here and N. So we are replicating this thing. Okay, and this is your collector and this are your emitter. We are replicating only this thing with this diagram, and that is because you will get easier for understanding. Okay, and that is interconnected to Q2 as shown here. Okay, so hope you guys have understood the equivalent circuit, that how we are replaced, or for just a better understanding we are replaced this two thing. Okay, so now we will take one by one input and then we will check how the things are working out here. Okay, so first input is 0 0, means this is 0 and this is 0, and we know that 0 is nothing but ground. So when you are giving 0 to negative terminal and positive 5 volt for the positive terminal or the p type material, the diodes D2 and D3 will conduct in forward condition. Okay, and what will happen, this when the current flows out here, entire current will be flowing out here because it is a forward bias condition. Okay, so technically nothing will actually flow out through this, and this diode will be not working as an closed switch. Okay, so when we see that entire thing is flowing out here, that will at this condition, that is 0 0 and 1. Okay, we are conditioned, we are taking this, so 0 0 is there, so entire flow is through with this. Okay, you can see that entire flows from this end. So what happens, nothing is flowing out from here, so this Q2 is actually in off condition. So when it is in off condition, this becomes open circuit. This becomes now open circuit. As this becomes open circuit, nothing flows out from here, so this also becomes open circuit. Now as your current will be not able to flow through this, it will not flow because it will get blocked here. So whatever the potential difference is there, the same potential difference will be available here. Now your transistor Q3 will all work. Why? Because it is getting the base voltage. Okay, at any point of time Q3 would be working, but as Q4 is not working and it is an open switch, what will happen, the potential difference what that was developed here, you will get the same potential difference here. Okay, that happens when the case is your diode D2 or D3 is given a input 0. Okay, now we will take another case, that is your second one. Okay, and now what will happen, 0 1 or 1 0, either of it. Okay, we will consider both the same. Why? Because if you go this 0 and 1, or you are getting this 1 or 0 at any point of time, either of the diode D2 or D3 would be definitely conducting. So again the same thing would be happening, all the current would be drained out here. Okay, so as all the current is draining out here, this is not working, so it is open circuit, this is open circuit, this is open circuit, and the same voltage is available here at why? Because this potential, this Q4 is an open circuit. Again the voltage is given to Q3 and you are getting it conducted. Okay, so in this both case you are getting the output 1, that is nothing but your 5 volt as the potential difference here. The thing changes when we will discuss the both the input. Okay, both the input are 1. What will happen at that point? Because when we were considering 0 1 or 1 0, and that both case one of the diode was in forward bias and another was in reverse bias. So if either of the input is here, either of the input, okay, is in forward bias, what would be happening? This entire current would be flowing out from this end to this end. Okay, so in 3 of the cases we are having the same condition, either both diode were in forward bias or either one diode was in forward bias. But in the last case, what is happening in the last case? Both are in reverse bias. Okay, so because both we are getting 1 1, so it is not conducting, and as it is not conducting, so now my this passage get clear. So now when this thing is not flowing out there, the path available is this. So my first time my Q2 would be short circuited. Now as Q2 is getting short circuited, my Q4 will also conduct. Now Q4 is getting conducted, or it is getting the base, okay, base supply. So what would be happening? This will be also working as in short circuit. Now my current entirely flows out here. Okay, now as it is flowing out here we don't receive any potential difference. That's why the output is 0. I guess you are not able to see it here. You can see that the output is 0. So basically this is your NAND gate. And what is the NAND gate logic? It is just the inverse of the AND is nothing but multiplication. So it says that either of it is 0, you will get the output 0. But as this is a NAND, so inverter is there. Okay, so inverter is there, hence this entire logic would be developed. Okay, so this is basically your TTL logic NAND gate. Hope so you have guys have understood this. With use of this logic we can create the other gates also, but as we have got the universal gate, so rest everything would be implemented in the same manner. Okay, see ya in the next lecture.